Hello everyone, a very good evening. Welcome to Mains 2025 pre-UPSC lecture series. In this video, I am going to discuss the ethics that we have started earlier. So this is lecture number 2 of ethics, where in my earlier class I have discussed about the so-called case study and I have given the outline and I have asked you to write a question on that. So today or now I am going to discuss what is the answer for that case study, and please check whether you have written in the format that I have said. So this is Dhananjay Reddy bringing you Mains 2025 free lecture program. This can be considered as an answer writing enhancement program for all the students who are writing UPSC at any point of time in your life, right? So it may be taking time, but consistently follow it. Do in the way in which I am saying. This will definitely help you, right? So this is ethics class, and I will be dealing with the so-called the case study. So I have already said which is the case study or which is the case that you have to write. I hope you must have written by this point of time, and let's go with the answer analysis for that, right? Right, aspirants, this is lecture 2, ethics case study number 1, Mains 2025 program. Right, so the case study is from 2024 case study. Now let's try to understand or decode the question very clearly so that we will try to understand from which part of the syllabus this question has been asked from. So the first thing which is very, very important for everyone is to link the case study with the way in which the syllabus has been framed. When we study the case, we'll also get what are the issues that are there, what are the stakeholders or who are the stakeholders who are present here. And the case will be in such a way that they will be giving you some clues to get the answers also. So these are the areas. So what we have to find by looking at the question, the syllabus components which are involved. The first thing is this. Second thing is the stakeholders whom they are speaking about. The third thing is the ethical issues or the legal issues that are incorporated. They will give it. And the fourth one is UPSC is not that blind to leave here. They will also give you the solutions also if you carefully observe. So these are the things that we have to look at whenever we look at the question in case studies. Let's start looking at the question. Try to understand the question first. There is a technological company named ABC Incorporated, which is, so technological company is there, ABC. So it is a technological company incorporated, which is second largest in the world. So indirectly it is saying, this is one company, don't think this company is a micro, small, medium enterprise, but this is one of the second largest worldwide. So what do you mean by second largest worldwide? In order to be a second largest one, you have to be a transnational company or a multinational company. The moment they are giving it, the thing that you should get is, as it is second largest, it will have the money. So one thing that you have to understand from here is, this is a company which has good amount of money. They can invest. They can invest. They have the capacity to invest. And where they have been situated, they are situated in the third world countries. The moment they say this is third world, you should understand that this is the world which was not developed to that extent. So maybe a sub-Saharan Africa or Asian country which is very poor, or a Latin American country which is facing some backwardness. In those areas, this institution was placed. So third world countries. So the moment you know third world countries, what are the features of third world countries? There will be lack of human development. There will be lack of human resources, right? There will be lack of social development. There will be huge poverty. There will be lack of basic minimum essentials for people. Which means the moment you are located in this company and you are becoming a rich company operating with second largest thing, definitely you should have something called corporate social responsibility. As a corporate, you should have one thing that is called corporate social responsibility. The first corporate social responsibility that it has to come is they have to get benefited by you. Because whenever I make profits in a company, this is not entirely by me, but because of the surroundings in which I am growing. Remember the movie Srimantudu. In Srimantudu, there will be a heroine, Shruti Hassan. Now what she says, మా ఊరు నాకు ఎంతో ఇచ్చింది, నేను తిరిగి ఇచ్చేయాలి మా ఊరికి అనేసి అంటుంది. So what is that? This is the thing. So if hero Harsha is getting something or Mahesh Babu is getting something from this, That is because of the society, and he starts giving it back. That is the reason you call it as Srimantudu. Srimantudu means the person who is of having all the wealth or richness. So if you want to become rich, if you want, be it business, be it a person, give it to the society, make some contributions to the society, definitely that karma will come back. So indirectly what I am saying, the moment you are located here, the corporate, you have to invest in these people, develop them. You have to develop them. This is called ensuring your good or ethical governance. Ethical governance, giving back. So Gandhi calls it as commerce with ethics. Commerce with ethics. And then there is another famous businessman, Henry Ford. He called this as the so-called, any business that focuses on only money is not a good business. So what business should focus? It should focus on the social development. So you can use Henry Ford quotation also. Right. The third one is the trusteeship doctrine of Gandhi lies here. Trusteeship. What do you mean by trusteeship? You don't believe yourself as the owner of the company. You are the major shareholder. You have more responsibility towards the society. You are a trust for the society. Then society will develop. So you can use trusteeship doctrine also here whenever we write these things. Right. So this is something speaking about corporate governance, good governance, building up the brand, building up the image of the company, and taking care of the society. The moment you take care of the society takes care of you. That is as simple as this. The moment I take care of the students will take care of our institute, like this. So something like this. So you are the chief. So this is the thing. So from this line, you have to understand these things. Second largest means I have the money to invest. Third world means poor countries. So with my money, I can make them rich. So you have to imagine the story of Srimantudu as simple as this. You are the CEO and the majority shareholder. Now look at this. Not only your company is the second largest, but you are also the first largest shareholder, which means the major decision making body is you. The moment they say that you are the CEO and the majority shareholder, now they are not passing the buck to other players. It is not being passed to the Harsha who is seeing this, or Hari who is seeing this video, or it is not being passed to Sneha who is seeing this video. No. So it is keeping the burden on me. Okay, I am the major shareholder of this company. So my company is the second largest and I have the responsibility, which means it is not only testing you as the leader, but it is also testing your personal ethics. So this is something that you have to understand. So what person you are, personality. So ethics in personal life is also one of the most important thing here, right? So this is the story that they said. Now this are speaking about the problems. What is the problem? So up to here, this is first one. The fast technological improvements have raised worries among environmental activities. So what are the challenges? Environmental ethics is first challenge. So technological improvements is happening. As a result, it is creating challenge to environmentalists. Now, why environmentalists has to be worried? So what is the challenge? First challenge is environmental activists, regulatory authorities. Who are regulatory authorities? Law enforcing authorities, which means something is disturbing with the law, rule of law. Something is disturbed with ethics, environment or nature, environmental ethics. This is law, legality. Third one is general public. The moment I say general public, it means the so-called social brand or social acceptance. So law, social acceptance, as well as the so-called environmental things. Over the sustainability scenario. So who are the stakeholders or what is at stake? Environmental ethics is at stake. You are breaking the law indirectly. As a result, general public is also getting angry. So these are the major ethical issues which not only disturbs the economy of your company, it's also going to disturb the environment, because the moment it develops, if law enforcement authority comes after me and if they realize that I am breaking the norms, I am tossing the norms, then definitely they are going to be after us. So this is a major concern here. Next one is about the sustainability. You confront substantial issues about the business environmental footprint. So one of the problem is the footprint, economic environmental footprint, which means you are disturbing the environment more and more because of your business. In 2023, your organization had a significant increase of 48% of greenhouse gases emissions compared to the levels recorded in 2019. So within a gap of just 4 years, another problem that you have created is almost a 50% increase in greenhouse gases was seen. So you have been emitting more greenhouse gases. The significant rise in energy consumption. Why there is huge amount of energy consumption? Is due to surging energy requirements of your data centers, fueled by the exponential expansion of AI. So one thing is AI is expanding rapidly in the technological world. For that, you require data centers, and that data centers require huge amount of energy. So what is the basic cause for greenhouse gases here that they are saying? So energy requirements. So it is coming like this. So technology has to be expanded. For that, artificial intelligence they are focusing on. On the artificial intelligence, what is happening? Your data centers are requiring huge energy, and then energy requirements are increasing. So directly energy requirements are causing more greenhouse gases, which means the energy that you are using is fossil fuels. Why fossil fuels? Otherwise there should be no greenhouse gas emissions. So if you want to give a solution for this company who asked you to go for fossil fuels, being one of the most wealthiest company, so immediate thing that you have to do is convene a meeting with your stakeholders, ask them that let us invest in renewable energy sources. Renewable energy sources like going for solar, going for wind, going for hydel, going for tidal, all these things. Go for renewable energy sources, go for hydrogen fueled cells. Now what happens because of this? On one side, your corporate social responsibility of minimizing the environmental pollution is going to come down. On the other side, you are also going to provide employment opportunities in the form of social responsibility towards the people of the third world. Develop some solar parks which will give employment opportunities to the people, which will meet the energy needs of the people and energy needs of your company, by the way. So you can overcome this problem of pollution by going with the simple thing that is called, don't go for that energy sources which are in the so-called fossil fuels or conventional sources. Go for non-conventional sources of energy, the contemporary forms of energy, the clean fuels. So you have to go with this. That is as simple as this. This is the technique that you have to understand. AI-powered services need much more computational resources and electrical energy compared to conventional online activities. Now, look at this. Now, this is called digging us to some area which is making us to beat around the bush. This topic that they have given, your company is generating more pollution, greenhouse gases. Reason is energy increase. Energy increase due to the so-called artificial intelligence. Now, how artificial intelligence is going to work? This is immaterial for us. Now, what they said? AI-powered services need much more computational resources and electrical energy compared to conventional online activities. So, conventional online activities require less energy, but the computational resources are using more and more here. So, AI, maybe you have to develop technology to such an extent that even the computational resources will be utilizing less energy. Notwithstanding their notable gains, the technology's proliferation has led to growing concerns over the environmental repercussions, resulting in an increase in warnings. So again they are saying what is the problem. So environmental ethics is a problem, and repeated again. AI models, especially that are used extensive machine learning and data processing, exhibit much more greater energy consumption than computer tasks with an exponential increase. So rather than computational tasks, AI models which are used in machine learning and data processing exhibit more greater energy requirements. Now indirectly, now they are saying that they are testing you whether you will go back to the so-called computational tasks with less the so-called conventional computer tasks with an exponential increase. What does this mean? AI is expanding, so you should have a clarity whether to go back to the conventional tasks or AI. But when you are a technology led, you cannot compromise on innovations, right? Innovations brings growth, growth contributes to inclusive growth. So these things we should not forget. So the point here in this is, so the first two sentences are indicating who are the stakeholders and what is at stake, and then it is also giving some solutions like what is the increase in the contribution in the last 5 years, why it is increasing, and they are also giving some solutions. Now, although there is already a commitment and goal to achieve net zero emissions by 2030, the challenge of lowering emissions seems overwhelming as integration of AI continues to increase. Now they are saying the company has net zero emission targets by 2030. So you have committed to go for net zero emission targets by 2030, but unfortunately between 2019 and 2024, in these 5 years you have increased it to 50%, that is 48%. You can surround it or you can round it at 50. Now what is the next thing is from 2024 to 2030, in the next years, what is the guarantee that you are going to make it as net zero emissions? The moment you have given the promise and you break the promises one broken cannot be built back. You are going to lose trust. The moment any company is going to lose trust, they are going to lose brand. If they lose the brand, your company will be not the top second company, it will be bottom second company. So what does this mean? Your company's stake is at risk. Don't think that you cannot act or you should not act because it is gaining you something. No, you have to act because trust is at risk here. Brand depends upon trust. To achieve this goal, substantial investments in renewable energy would be necessary. Now they are giving the solution also. So how to overcome this? Substantial investments is necessary. So you are a company, pool the investments for renewable energy sources. So one solution is go and directly invest in the so-called renewable energy sources. The difficulty is exacerbated by the competition. But the question here is, if I want to invest in renewable energies in this competitive environment, I cannot get the profits. This is the thing. So the difficulty is exacerbated by the competitive environment of the technology sector where rapid innovation is essential for preserving market standing and shareholders' worth. So I have to continue the innovation. I have to preserve my market and shareholders' worth. Otherwise, my company will not sustain. So I cannot go and remove artificial intelligence when competition is very high. The other way is you have to find some solution for this. To achieve a balance between innovation, profitability and sustainability, a strategic move is necessary that is in line with both business objectives and ethical obligations. This is as simple as this. So this is giving a very good analysis even not only for our ethics. Now whenever you write, there will be some questions this year on artificial intelligence in GS paper 2 and GS paper 3. This, if you read it this much, 1 or 2 sentences you can use in GS paper 2 and GS paper 3 whenever they ask some questions on this slide. AI will be a definite question in science and technology at least. You have to have some, what is the drawbacks of AI? If they ask a question like this is the answer. Now, they are asking the questions. I'll come to the questions, but what is the analysis that you got from the analysis of the question? So let's try to analyze. So after reading it, what is that thing which is coming to my mind? That we have to know. What exactly are we understanding? If I read the question, it is very clear to me that I have money because I am the second largest thing, which means you have invested heavily and you have built up that brand to become the second wealthiest MNC or TNC. Brand is necessary. So you have pooled that money, you have investments. Second thing is, personally also, I am the major shareholder. Next. Third one is, there is increasing pollution or increasing greenhouse gases. Why greenhouse gases? Artificial intelligence. Why artificial intelligence? Your data centers or data machines, data computational machines are using huge amount of energy. So energy you are using. So which energy you are using? Traditional energy, that is conventional modes of energy, coal, crude oil, natural gas, these things. So this is a problem. The problem was very clear. So what would be the solution? When the problem is this much clear, so what is the problem? Problem is greenhouse gases. As a result, there is a concern among the people. There is a concern among the environmentalists, concern among the so-called law enforcement authorities, that is called regulators, concern among the stakeholders, and moreover, you are the biggest stakeholder, concern for you. This is the thing. Right, and concern for your company. Company's reputation is also at stake. This is what is at stake. So this is the thing that they give. Now why AI is consuming more amount of energy? AI is consuming more amount of energy because of the computational tasks. It is. So one of the challenge here is, should I stop going for artificial intelligence or should I stop going for artificial intelligence so that I can promote environment? So the challenge here is, whether should I go for environment versus technological development? I cannot compromise one for the other because innovation is essential for development. Innovation is essential for growth. Growth contributes to inclusive growth. All these things are necessary. So these are the things that is being asked. And they are also saying that one more thing is your company is second largest, you are the major shareholder, and they are also saying one more thing, that is you have given a commitment to achieve by 2030 net zero carbon emissions. Definitely you have to achieve, but unfortunately you went in the wrong direction. If you continue this for the next 6 months, 6 years, you are going to miss the target. The moment you miss the target, you are going to lose the brand. So more or less this is the thing that they have given. So what are the ethical issues here? The ethical issues is, first thing is, first thing that you will find is you are not following the promise that you gave. So this means poor corporate governance. Corporate governance should be good. Second one is you are challenging the enforcement authorities. So you are breaking the law of the land. This is an ethical issue. You have to be abide by the rule of the law wherever you go, be it a third world, second world, or first world. Law of the land you are breaking. Third one is environmental ethics. What Gandhi says, we have attained or we have received Mother Earth in pristine and pure form, and it is our responsibility to pass the same thing for our future generations in the same purity and the so-called pristine form that we have received. So environmental ethics, as a business you cannot remove the environmental ethics. You have responsibility, corporate social responsibility towards the public. And one thing is responsibility. The moment you have to be responsible, how you can be responsible? Responsibility increases with the so-called transparency, openness. And this is third world country. So what is most important? The most important thing that you have to observe is whenever you are living in a third world, empathy and compassion towards weaker sections, because weaker sections will be very, very high. Empathy and compassion towards weaker sections is also necessary. At the same time, it is also testing your aptitude to balance between environment and technology. So one more thing it is testing you is your aptitude. What is aptitude? The capacity to solve a problem is called aptitude. This is also there in the syllabus. So whatever I am deriving, I am not deriving it out of blue. I am deriving it from the syllabus itself. Aptitude. So this is one thing that it is going to help you. So aptitude, how you are going to, as a manager, how you are going to balance environment and technological development. These are the things. So this is what we get a rough idea about it. Now let's look at the questions. So I said, what you have to write in your answer writing, the first thing is always remember the flow chart that I have said. What I said, first is introduction linked with the syllabus. So what can be your brief description about the syllabus in this question? This case study puts me as the CEO of the transnational company ABC. This company is technological driven and it is working on artificial intelligence. In this case, I am given the challenge that being the leader of this company, how I am going to balance the governance of my company with corporate responsibility, how I am going to infuse ethics such as environmental ethics, social ethics, business ethics into my functioning. It is also testing the aptitude of me on how to balance technology and environmental aspects. Finally, being the major shareholder, it is also testing me the character of myself as a leader. Hence, this case study discusses about the personal as well as corporate ethics and how I am going to take steps. So this can be a brief introduction. Some of these things you can write. Or precise writing. Precise writing means the company. So precise writing means this is one way of writing. So where I have used corporate social responsibility, ethical governance, social governance, character building, that is called personal ethics, private ethics, individual company ethics, these things. This is one way of linking with the syllabus. Or precisely you can write it. What is the precise writing? As I said, no need to recall the syllabus. Just write whatever you have understood from the syllabus, from the question. I am the CEO of ABC company, which is a technological giant working on artificial intelligence. Due to this, greenhouse gases, there has been high energy consumption. As a result, there is huge environmental challenges. Due to this, there has been huge challenge from the so-called the people, environmentalists, as well as the government. Right. So, as a CEO, I have to balance the interests of the stakeholders. At the same time, I have to take care of the environmental aspects. So this case is going to test the aptitude of myself along with the benefit of the company. So like this, you can write about precisely, write the entire paragraph, entire 2 paragraphs that they have given in short format, 150 words. So this is the thing. So what would be the connector? Stakeholders. Who are the stakeholders here? First stakeholder is myself as a CEO of the company, and as well as major shareholder and the first stakeholder. Second stakeholder is the shareholders, the other shareholders who has invested in your company and who has contributed for the growth of your company. Third one is government and the so-called regulatory authorities, environmentalists, general public in the third world. These are the stakeholders who are involved. From where I have taken from the syllabus itself. And the other stakeholders are, one more stakeholder is other technological giants, other companies. Right, these are the things. Introduction, connector. Now go to the directly after writing these two in the set format that I have said. Now take the questions. What is your immediate response? Now don't need to write what are the ethical issues as a connector. The reason why you should not write ethical issues is here itself they have given this thing. Here itself they have given this thing. Ethical issues. So no need to write separately. What is your immediate response to the challenges posed in the above case? So what is your immediate response? The immediate response should be something like, first is, as a CEO, I will acknowledge the issue. I will acknowledge the severity of the situation first and accept it. The moment you accept it, you can solve this. And second thing is, I will immediately convene a meeting with the team, with executive team. So after convening it, what I will discuss is, we will assess our current operations, and immediately look at the places where I can bring alternative energy sources from conventional to non-conventional. Immediately I have to look at it. This is the problem. So access our current portfolio or the working conditions and look immediately for replacement of energy sources with alternative energy sources. So purchase alternative energy and then you can do it. Immediate response will be this: accepting it, acknowledging it, taking responsibility, conveying a meeting and accessing it. This is immediate thing. Now look at this. This is immediate, which means in the long term also you have to do something. So being a conscious being, what measures would you adapt to maintain balance between A and environmental footprint? The first thing long term is, I will invest in green energy projects, clean energy projects such as solar energy, wind energy, thereby generate renewable energy and use for my data centers. Data centers. This is one way. Why? Due to this, on one side I will reduce pollution You have to write why you are doing. On one side, I am reducing the pollution. On the other side, I am also enriching the social responsibility of providing employment opportunities to the people here, and thereby promoting their health, education. Second thing, what is the second thing that you can do? Second thing is making innovations to reduce the energy consumption of artificial intelligence computing mechanisms. So in the computing mechanisms, they said that you are consuming energy. So develop that technology which reduces energy consumption in why energy is consuming in computational resources of AI services. In computational resources of AI services. This is second thing. Third thing is looking for something like carbon credit mechanisms. Increasing our carbon credit mechanisms so that I will be balancing my emissions by paying it to some institution which is reducing it. So you can use this. In the long term, carbon credit mechanisms is one thing whereby you can achieve it. Fourth one is, as you have said for net zero emissions, use greenhouse gas pollution removers, such as in your industry, wherever energy is getting polluted or greenhouse gases are emitted, catch them, then send it through some purifiers and come out with this. So first one is energy resources, alternative energy. Second one is develop technology so that with computational methods itself will use less energy. Third one is going for carbon credit mechanism in the long run. Fourth one is greenhouse gas reducers. When, you can capture carbon dioxide, you can capture sulfur dioxide, you can capture nitrogen dioxide, you can process them, you can purify them by using some electrostatic precipitators like this. So this is pollution reducing mechanisms. So over a period of time, my AI should be sustainable AI development. Sustainable AI. Sustainable AI means energy consumption will be less for this AI. This will be my long-term project. This will be my long-term project. Through this, I can promote AI innovation and I can promote environmental footprint. You can also write, we will be following the so-called releasing transparency and accountability through data. So every month we'll keep some targets on how it is coming down. We'll present it to the government to bring some trust on us. So A and D will go like this. And then you can say, what you can say? Any business that focuses on exclusively money without for the so-called environment or nature is going to be in the downward spiral according to Henry Ford. Hence, I will follow these mechanisms. You can write it and you can end it. Yeah, immediate response is acknowledging the issue. So, and convening the meeting, access to it. As a famous African proverb says, you have to look at the place not where we have slipped, where we have fallen, but the place at which we have slipped. The company is slipping because of not accepting the facts. Since we accept the facts and we will be doing it. Now, what are the ethical issues involved here? The ethical issues are, first one is environmental ethics. Being the so-called owner of your company itself, you are apathetic towards the so-called the environmental pollution, not following the government laws. Law enforcement agencies are after you. You are not followed rule of law. So you have broken rule of law. This is another ethical issue because you have given promise. And most important is not fulfilling our promises. not fulfilling our promises. The promises made has not been fulfilled because you have given 2030 commitment, but it has not been reduced. So this is going to impact the brand. This is going to impact the brand. So environmental ethics, apathetic nature of the so-called the CEO or the company. Next one is rule of law you have broken. Fulfillment of the so-called promises you have not met. These are the challenges that you have. Right, and you have to explain one by one. Your company has been identified to be penalized by technological companies. Good. Obviously, the government will come and they will challenge you. So, what are the ethical and logical arguments will you put forth to convince about this necessity? What are the things that you are going to do? Why we say that this is important? We say that innovation is essential. Now, why you say that? Okay, I cannot stop artificial intelligence. At the same time, the thing that I will do is, so what are the needs for artificial intelligence? So we say that innovation is important or is essential for growth. Innovation is essential for progress. This is what I said. Hence, don't stop me. So you cannot penalize me because I am innovating and I am giving social progress. Progress. Which progress? Social progress through which I will create responsibility for the development of the society, economic growth for the third world countries, and it is also making development in the third world countries by bringing this technology. You can argue that. Second one is, this is not just my responsibility. This is sustainability is collective responsibility. Sustainability is collective responsibility. Hence, what we have to do, I will ask, okay, legally this is a collective responsibility. My company has given you investments, commitments. So this has to be asked for all the companies. And we will be following from now. Please follow with other companies also. We have to inculcate this in other companies also, and we have to protect our company from penalizing, because we have to say that, sir, it is a collective responsibility. We are starting it. Third thing that I say is, we are going to invest in renewable energy, and we already committed. You can say to the government, we have already committed, because net zero emissions by 2030, and we are going to achieve it. So you cannot penalize me because we started focusing on investment in renewable energy. Otherwise, why would we give the so-called a promise to reduce it? Then say that we are going to increase transparency and accountability in our things. So what are the ethical and the so-called logical and ethical arguments that you will give? Logical and ethical arguments that I will give is, logically, innovation is necessary for progress. Ethically, it is a responsibility of all, collective but differentiated responsibilities is the concept. Hence, it is my responsibility and it is the responsibility of others also. Third one, you cannot close the industry because it is going to take away the jobs of the people. It is going to kill the industry or the so-called the development of a country. The only thing that we'll say is, we have given commitments already, we are going to reduce this. So, what will be your immediate response, ladies and gentlemen? Acknowledging the issue, convening a meeting, assessing the situation. And then alternative energy sources, we have to immediately look at what areas we have to do, and we will immediately take that call. Discuss the ethical issues involved in the case. The ethical issues are environmental ethics, apathetic nature of the company. C, we have not followed the rule of law. Fulfillment of the promises made is not followed. Fifth, being the CEO, I am not following the concise, which is speaking about the facts. Hence, here I am more self-centric rather than society-centric. So there is no doctrine of trusteeship here. Rather, corporates are looking for just profits in the third world and thereby showing discrimination. According to Immanuel Kant, men should not be treated as means. They should be treated in themselves. So, third world countries should not be a means for development of first world countries or the means of development of some rich MNCs. Third world countries are playing a contribution for the society or for your growth. Hence, this is the time to give you back. The concept of service you have to do. So, these things you can write. Your companies has been identified to penalize. What are the logical and ethical arguments? This is a bit difficult to write. One thing is, yes, I have logical and ethical arguments. So technology is essential for progress. Second thing, it is environmental, is everything's responsibility. So not by penalizing by technological giants. It is the responsibility of everyone. Third one is we are going to install it and we are going to increase our accountability. We are going to promote social audit, these things. And we will also show how our technological company is contributing for the growth, revenue, development of the third world countries. These things. Being a concern being, what measures would you take to balance between AI innovation and economic footprint? Green energy, clean energy. Second one, development of technology, that is artificial intelligence sustainability. Sustainable artificial intelligence I will develop over a period of time. In initial years, it may take time. But according to Kuznets environmental curve, obviously over a period of time it will reduce. Third one is going for carbon credit mechanisms. Fourth one is greenhouse gas catalytic filters, where they will be filtering and cleaner output will be released. These are the things that we can take care. And write with some quotations. You can use the quotations of Ambedkar, Gandhi, Henry Ford, Trusteeship Council of Gandhi. Aristotle also said that rich people should not consider money as their own, but it should be as trustees. So like this, you can mix them and you can write. This is somewhat, you can write the answer. Few people have sent me the answers. I have also seen it. They were decent enough. So this is the structure. So this is your ABCD. So finally what you can end that the same thing. The quotation of Gandhi. Any business which focuses only on money and not ethics, be it environmental or any other form of ethics, is not a good business. It is a sin. Commerce without ethics is a sin. You can end with that, as simple as it. So this is how we have to write it. So ladies and gentlemen, that is the thing. So next class, my topic is this. 2024 question number 2 is your case study. Please read these cases and come out. Raman is a senior IPS officer and has recently been posted as a Deputy Director General of Police of a state. Among the various issues and problems, challenges which need immediate action, the issue related to recruitment of unemployed youth by terrorist groups is a matter of great concern. It was noted that unemployment was relatively high in the state. The problem of unemployment against graduates and those with higher education was much more grave. Thus, there was vulnerable and soft targets. In a review meeting taken by him with the senior officers of the DIG range and above, it came to light that a new terrorist group has emerged at the global level. It has launched a massive drive to recruit young, unemployed people. Special focus was to pick young people from a particular community. The said organization seems to have the clear objectives of utilizing or using them for carrying out militant activities. It was also gathered that the said group is desperately trying to spread its tentacles in the state. A definite and reliable intelligence tip was received by the state CID and cyber cell that a large number of such unemployed youth have already been contacted by the terrorist groups through social media and local communal organizations and other contacts. The need of the hour was to act swiftly and to check these elements' designs before they assume serious proportions. Discreet inquiries made by the police through the cyber cell revealed that good number of unemployed youth are very active on Facebook, Instagram and Twitter. On an average, many of them were spending 6 to 8 hours each day using electronic devices on the internet, etc. It also came to light that such unemployed youth were slowly showing sympathy and endorsing the messages received from such groups, certain groups, allegedly the contact persons of the global terrorist groups. Their social media accounts revealed their strong affinity to such groups in as much as many of them started forwarding anti-national tweets of their WhatsApp and Facebook. It seemed that they succumbed to their ploy and started propagating the secessionist ideology. Their posts were highly critical of the government's initiatives, policies, and subscribing to extreme benefits and promoting extremism. This is the thing. Now look at the case. Before answering this case can be used in GS paper 3, internal security, cyber security and issues arising out of cyber issues. That is social media and issues arising out of it. You can write this thing in social media. Or they can be, they will be asking some essay on this type of things. So this acts as a use the content for writing in other answers also, right? That is what I mean to say. Now they are asking the questions. Read this, understand what the question says. What are the options available to Mr. Raman to tackle the above situation? What measures would you suggest for strengthening the existing setup to ensure that such groups do not succeed in penetrating and vitiating the atmosphere in the state? In the above scenario, what action plan would you need, would you advise for enhancing the intelligence mechanisms of the police force? So you have to answer in 250 words. So what I say, ladies and gentlemen, so try to understand that very clearly in the pattern that I have analyzed. So for the next 6 days, answer 6 questions, then that will be really helpful. It will be giving you some direction on how to tackle it. So understand the syllabus. Follow the pattern that I said. First, understand the question, link with what are the things that we have to take up. Look at from which part of the syllabus this has come, what are the challenges in it, who are the stakeholders in it, and then look at, they will be giving some solutions also if you carefully analyze. This is the way to study, and whenever we study case study, enjoy studying it. You have to study not for the sake of rank, we have to study for the sake of enhancing our knowledge. So study in that way. We can use this content in other parts of other papers also. So like this, if you are actively engaged in learning, definitely our answer writing is going to be better, right? This is the thing that I wanted to make. This is case number 1. Subsequently, I will be making 6 more case studies. With that, I want you to be very thorough in answer writing as far as case studies is considered. This is all for this video. Thanks for joining. Have a great day. We'll meet soon with my next ethics topic, that is ethics number 3, where the topic is about this problem which has been arising. Right, ladies and gentlemen, thank you. It's been almost 2 o'clock in the morning. Thanks for joining. Have a great day. Good night all.